Good morning, guys. You can control the power of your mind with determination. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I feel the energy of my one word. When I say the word determination, it means so much to me. As you know, it's become my purpose. It's become my very essence, my very being. It was always there. I just know it now, and it's my life purpose. It means making a determination means deciding. It means never giving up until it's done. You have your purpose in you. You have a truth principle that we're all made up of, which all converges all onto one thing anyhow. And all you need to do is find yours. Or if you don't even know yours, I want you to know you're already living your purpose. You know, you giving me your attention here, you have no idea how much it's helping me. I am so grateful. So wherever you are, you can control the power of your mind with your purpose. Have a great day, everybody.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time. Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and successful people don't wake up every day and say, yes, today is going to be amazing. The difference is they have a powerful morning routine, like watching one of these videos, that set them up for success. So let's start your day up right together. Grab your coffee and get ready for a shot of espresso from Lisa Nichols.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
The Oprah team had heard some of my backstory. And they said, can we send a camera crew, much like this wonderful camera crew?
Yes.
Not nearly as good looking. And can we send a camera crew to capture your story? And so I shared my story. And I mean, I dumped. And I shared the ugly. And right after the interview, I regretted it. Because I didn't think I could be the secret teacher, the expert, and have that kind of ugly out there in the world. I didn't know. I didn't know that the world would love me for what I've come through. I thought that they would consider me an imposter in the secret. And so I shared all this junk. 2 weeks later, I'm on my way to Oprah to do the actual recording, and I know I know the video. So the night before, I'm packing and I'm crying. I'm like, oh, it's over tomorrow. It's all over.
I'm gonna go embarrass myself on Oprah.
It's the fastest career up and down anyone's ever seen. Lisa Nichols will be the secret.
Yes.
Right. So, I'm just sad. I'm scared, and I call a friend of mine at 4:15 in the morning because I stayed up all night.
Of course, yeah. How are you gonna sleep before that?
Yeah, right. And I said, I know they don't know my junk and the video, and it's over. And he said, look, can I pray for you, Lisa? And I was like, sure. My friend says, God, thank you for using your imperfect child to help your imperfect children. I went to Oprah the next day, and as the chatter kept going in my head, leading up to the moment when they play this video, I'm like, it's okay. I'm enough. I'm enough with all my mess. I'm enough. And the chatter kept, nope, they're going to find out. They're going to find out your son's father is in jail. They're going to find out. And I thought, no, they're not going to find out, because I'm going to tell them. Because there's power in transparency. There's power in authenticity. There's power in truth. That I'm going to speak life into someone else, because they're going to see who I am because of that, in spite of that, with that. And so then the after show came. So after the regular Oprah show, the after show. And man, I cracked open on the after show. And within 72 hours, talk about the power of transparency and authenticity. Within 72 hours, I received 8,782 emails. And my email wasn't even Lisa Nichols. It wasn't even easy to find. And my website wasn't Lisa Nichols.
Yeah.
People searching for me.
Whatever it took.
Because of the truth. And so I had the imposter syndrome then. I've had it since then. People told me, oh my God, you're the answer. And I'm searching for my own answers.
Your story is your competitive advantage. Why you do what you do, where you came from, your history, all of the baggage, the imperfections, the vulnerability, all of that, your story is the thing that's going to help you win as an entrepreneur. This is one of the biggest misconceptions and one of the hardest things for us to do as entrepreneurs, to put ourselves out there and share the story. We want to be perfect. We see these big brands. We see people popping off on Instagram and their perfect life and their perfect planes and their perfect marketing. And we feel not good enough and we feel like we have to be like them, but people can smell through it. Think about it. You're going up against some big company, right? Whatever industry you're in, there's some big players. More established than you, bigger budgets than you, deeper pockets than you. They've been there forever. They've got the brand name, the history, the reputation. People know who they are, and you're going up against them. Why would somebody buy from you instead of them? Because of your story. Because you're going to make me feel special. Because in you, I see myself. I see somebody who cares. I see somebody who's going to go off and make a difference where I have no connection to big company, to big corporation. But what most entrepreneurs do is they try to look the part of being the big corporate. They have a really formal website. They have a really formal photography. They have a really formal bio. At best, you're going to be a junior version of that big company. I need to know why you do what you do. This is how you win. Your heart is your competitive advantage. Why do you care so much? And if you believe, like I believe, that your purpose comes from your pain, that whatever you're doing right now, your deep purpose is to help other people who currently are who you used to be, then I need to know what pain you've come through. Because you might have the answers, you might have the solution, your product, your service, your coaching, your content, whatever, could actually be the solution. But until I know that you've come through the thing that I'm struggling with, I'm not going to listen to you, because I'm going to think, yeah, right, this person doesn't get it. This person doesn't understand me. This person doesn't care. Meanwhile, you do care. Meanwhile, it's the most important thing. Meanwhile, you care way more than anybody else cares. But until you actually share your story, nobody's going to listen. This is one of the hardest things for me to overcome when I started my business, because I always felt, well, nobody cares about my story. Like, who cares? It's not about me. I have no need to be in front of a camera. I'm introverted and shy by nature. I know you may not believe that in watching these videos, but I am. And I remember fighting with my agent, Steve, many times. Steve, nobody cares about what I've done and my story. And I don't like the spotlight on me. So why does it matter? And after years of fighting, and hopefully what took me forever to figure out, if you guys get this in this video, you'll be way further ahead than I was when I was getting started. People learn through your story. And if you've got a message, you telling your story actually perpetuates the message. So you telling your story is not about you and your ego and how you look and how people see you and prizes and awards and anything. It's about making an impact. Because when I know that you've been through what I'm going through, or I know how much you care about something, I'm much more likely to want to hire you. So let me give you a couple examples. I remember I was doing a radio show, and when I first got started in coaching, it was through a live radio show that I was doing once a week. I remember one person calling in, and he had a landscaping business. And I asked, okay, well, what's so different about your landscaping company? Because he was frustrated that all of these teenagers and high school kids were eating up his business, where he say, hey, we'll landscape your yard and we'll do it for minimum wage. And here he is trying to make more than minimum wage. And he's worried that he has to compete on price and he can't do it against these teenagers. And so I said, well, why do you care so much about landscaping, man? Like, why did you pick this business? And I hope for all of you, please, that you have a story, right? If you're picking a business just to make money, you've lost already. You've lost. That the entrepreneur success formula is you got to combine what you love doing with what brings value to other people. You have to love it. You have to have a story. If there's no story, you've lost. Go pick something else that you actually can't connect to. But I asked him, why did you start this business? What does it mean to you? And he said, my mom was my hero. And when I was young, she always took me out to the yard and we did landscaping together. And it's always a connection to her. And then there was a line that he said that really caught me, where he said, every lawn that I go to, every customer's lawn that I go help, I treat it like it's my mom's lawn. And right there, it's like, oh my gosh, this guy cares so much. Like, do you think the average high school, after school, summer job, do you think they care as much about your yard as this guy does? right? If he's treating it like it's his mom's garden. And by sharing that story now, you'd be willing to pay more. I'd be willing to pay him way more than a high school kid, because I think that he's going to give a way better service, provide way more value, because I understand the story. But if I just went to the website and I looked at his services and I go to some giant corporation who does it, or I go to see some teenager who does it, the websites are going to look pretty similar. The services are going to look pretty similar, but the heart and soul is the thing that's missing. That's why he's going to give the best value compared to the other extremes. Same thing for you. You love the thing that you're doing. I hope. If not, find something else. You love the thing that you're doing. I need to understand your passion. I need to see it. And you're afraid of not looking good on camera. You're afraid of not being articulate. That doesn't matter. I'm not hiring a landscaping company based off of how professional their video is. Often the more professional it is, the worse it is. Because when there's big lights and cameras and setups and everything else, you get a lot more nervous. Like, oh my gosh, you got all these people watching me, I better deliver. And then you end up giving a really boring, fake, nervous, scared, anxiety version of your story that nobody's going to connect to. Take out your phone and press record. I don't care if there's background music or lower thirds or the perfect lights or microphone if you're a landscaping company. Now, if you're a videographer, your stuff better be on fire. It better be on point, because I'm hiring you to produce video. But if you're a landscaping company or something totally different, has nothing to do with video production, the most important thing is for you to be able to get your story out there, to be creative, to be authentic, to imagine that there's somebody here that you're talking to instead of just a camera, to get your message out there. That is why people will buy from you. That is why people will connect with you. That is why people will listen to you, because they feel like you deeply, 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 deeply care about this thing. And I know you do, but it's just not anywhere. I can't find it on your social. I can't find it on your YouTube. I can't find it on your website. I can't find it anywhere. Not the heart, because you're trying to be perfect and professional like big corporation. Your story is your competitive advantage. One of the things that really helped me was leaning into the fact that I'm shy and introverted and afraid to get in front of the camera and afraid to get on stage and no need to be famous. That's led to actually a lot of opportunities. The more I lean in on those things, the more things come to me. I remember doing a speech at Brendan Burchard's growth event, and I wasn't as myself. I was more professional. I was more just giving advice. It was great advice. People loved it. And then he invited me back to speak at his private mastermind. And now these groups are paying $30,000 to $50,000 to be in that room. So now there's a higher pressure, like the first one, the ticket was maybe $100. The ticket to this one is $30,000 to $50,000. Like, oh my gosh, extra pressure. And I just leaned in on it. I walked up on stage and I came after Dean Graziosi. So Dean spoke and then it was me. And Dean was using the Flipboard. It's like the paper beside you and you're flipping one page at a time. And I'd never used a Flipboard in any of my presentations. I've had PowerPoint in the past, or I normally just get up and talk, but I thought, okay, I'm going to try to use the Flipboard. And I didn't know how to use it. I always felt like I was blocking somebody, so I'm hiding behind the Flipboard trying to write it. And it ended up being really funny. And Brendan took me aside after, and he said, that was the best. That was so much better than you did in Arizona at my first event. And Arizona was great, but you need to lean in on your goofiness. You need to lean in on your shyness. You need to lean in on the things that make you nervous. If you're nervous, say you're nervous. If you have anxiety, say you have anxiety. I led with something like that. It's like, I'm scared. I'm an introvert. I'm shy, and I've got my heart beating like crazy right now, standing up here in front of all you guys. That's how I led my speech, something like that. And so leaning in on that has helped me. It's a lot more real. Yeah, it's a lot more real. So you don't feel like you have to be fake. You can just lean in on the thing that makes your heart go crazy like this. Lean in on it. If you were to make a video to say, I want to tell you my story. If I go back to the landscaping company, I want to tell you why I do what I do. And normally I hate making videos, and this makes me really anxious and nervous, and I'm scared to do this. But landscaping is just so important. It's so important to me because and then you tell the story with the mom, wouldn't you want to hire that person? Wouldn't you want to pay more for that person? Right? So leaning in on your story, on the thing that you're worried that you're going to get judged for, is the way that you're going to win. Your story is your competitive advantage. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to go up against these big corporations and feel like you have to be fancy like them, where all you're doing is being boring, being vanilla, and being a junior version of them. Your story is your competitive advantage. You need to start getting it out there. The thing that makes you go boom, 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 boom like that, that's what you have to share. And that's how you start to win. Now, I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the good deed of the day. This is something new. I believe that you're built to serve, and it feels so good to do something nice for somebody else. So good deed of the day, put down in the comments one thing that you need help with, that you're working on, that you'd love some support or guidance on. And then 2, go comment on somebody else's comment and give them some love, give them some support, give them some encouragement, maybe give them some connections, try to help them solve that problem, even if it's saying, I believe in you. That one little bit of encouragement can be the difference between somebody quitting and continuing on. So the good deed of the day, in the comments below, write down one thing that you need help on, that you're struggling with, that you're working on. And then part 2 is go give love to somebody else in the comments too, and let them know that you believe in them as well.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that, if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below.
We validate who we are by what we're doing for other people. Cognitive dissonance is when you have literally thought about a version of yourself that you're not currently living right now.
I say if your knees aren't knocking and your teeth aren't chattering just a little at least, then you're not playing big enough.
The Cloud Ultra, born in the Swiss Alps, with mission grip for traction on varied surfaces.
Feel the power of you controlling your breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. You've got your legs crossed, your back straight, your eyes closed. You remember the truth. You know the truth that you were born to win, to take control of your life the way you take control of your breathing. One breath at a time, one thought at a time. So let's do that right now. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can as we begin our day today in the best way possible. Winning the morning, winning our mind, and growing our minds and our bodies. And whatever we do. So right now, let's see ourselves doing the best walk we've ever done when that music shuts off. Right here, right where we are, right where we sit. Because we know the truth. After all, we're made of truth. We're made of the same stuff the universe is made of. That's what makes you infinitely intelligent. See yourself right now doing the best walk you've ever done when that music shuts off. When that music goes off, you're going to win. You're going to make it real. You're going to make your dream, your vision, real. Good morning, determination. So good to be here together again today. A new day, a new chance to be better than we were the last time. Here we go, everyone. When I say go, we're going to start jogging. So right now, as you're doing your best walk, whether it's side to side or whether you're simply walking on the spot, I want you to see yourself doing your best jog on the spot when I say go. I miss you so much, Beverly Glen. I miss you so much, determination. But we get to unite right now with this energy. We get to remember. We get to be our true great self. To grow our minds and to grow our bodies, wherever we are, whatever we're doing. And the way we do this is the way we'll do everything. So here we go. Okay, go. Always focus on your breathing. Keep going a little bit more. And stop. Okay, walking. Back to our best walk. Stay focused on your breathing. Remember, the way you catch your breathing, the way you control your breathing, it's the same way you can control your thoughts and your feelings. All right, let's start with some shoulder rolls forward. Let's do 10 forward. And backwards. Okay, let's do some arm circles forward. Feel the power of you controlling your mind and your body. Feel the joy of being able to move your body through space the best way you can. And backwards. Okay, hands on your hips, bend your knees, and side stretch. Okay, let's twist our bodies. Twist. Hands on the hips. All right, and let's do 5 push-ups, everyone. 5 push-ups. All right, let's do 5 sit-ups together. Here we go. The best you can. Okay, and let's do 5 squats. Here we go. All right, and let's do lunges. 3 on each side, arms out. Alternating legs. All right, good. And let's do 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. And stand up again, everyone. And let's reach for the ceiling on our toes. Hold it there for 10. Okay, and reach for your toes, straight knees. Remember to focus and control that breathing. Just reach. It's okay if you don't touch your toes. Reaching is what matters. All right, and stand up. And let's balance. Grab one leg and focus on planting that foot firmly into the ground. Bend the one knee if you have to. Find your balance point. And then pull that heel back towards your bottom. Excellent. All right, and switch. The other one. Find that balance and hold. All right, good. Okay, and now let's hug the one knee. Here we go. Bring that knee up. And again, find that balance. And hold it there. 10 seconds. All right, and switch. The other one. Slowly bring it up. All right, good job. Excellent. Okay, and let's sit down. And let's stretch out and reach for our toes. Straight knees. Here we go. Again, reaching is what matters. It's okay if you don't touch your toes. Just give your best. Feel the joy. Feel the process of you working to become better at every movement you make, every stretch you do. Okay, here we go. Let's do V-shape now with the legs. So V-shape, and reach for the floor as far as away from your body as you can. And reach for one side. Hold it there. And switch to the other side. Alright, let's bring our feet together now. And gently push your knees down with your elbows and hold it there for 10. Here we go. Again, feel that power of you in the now, in the moment. Winning. W-I-N, I've heard before, stands for what's important now. What's important now is doing our best in whatever we do. Okay, let's go one leg forward and one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground and go as far back as you can without hurting yourself. Keep that knee down though. Here we go. And switch, the other one now. And keep that knee down. Go as far back as you can. Okay, good. All right. And let's roll onto our belly. And let's push the floor and look up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10. All right, excellent. Okay, legs crossed again. Back straight. Eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now I want you to see yourself right now. When that music goes on, I want you to see yourself doing the best you can on an exercise of your choice. For me today, I'm going to be working on challenging myself to do as many push-ups and air squats as I can. I'm going to see that in my mind right now. I'm going to try to be a little bit better than I was last time. What about you? Think about it. What is there that you want to get better at? What exercise do you want to do? Remember, it's got to be within the rules, safety rules, rules that are there for you to keep you safe. So this is the space we have right here. So what exercise will you do to the best of your ability when that music goes on? I want you to see that clearly in your mind right now. You might want to do jumping jacks. You might want to do burpees. You might want to simply dance, move your body to the music. If you want to play your own music, you can do that as well. I've got my music here. You feel free to enjoy that. But I want you to see yourself when that music goes on, doing the best you can, whatever exercise you choose. Because you know the truth. The way you do that is the same way you will improve and do better at anything. All right, determination, let's go. Let's feel that energy moving up. Here we go. Music always changes our energy state. Whatever you do, you gotta believe that you can do better. Here I go. As many push-ups as I can do. All right, we got 53 today. I gotta remember that for next time. What is it for you? What are you doing right now? Maybe you're doing some jumping jacks. Maybe you're dancing to the music. Whatever it is you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. You were born to be your best all the time. Remember your breathing. Always believe that you can be better than you were the last time. Even if you don't get exactly where you want to be, the process, the struggle, fighting to be better than you were last time, that's what's going to bring you your joy and your happiness. We have our determination. We get to work on that all the time. All right, air squats are next for me. What about you? All right, air squats. Let's see how many I can do here before I get tired. Too tired to keep going, but there's always a little bit more. That's determination. All right, here we go. You can feel free to do the same thing, or again, do your own thing. You got your own dance, your music, whatever you want to do. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability. Here we go. All right, how's everybody feeling? We got the blood flowing. We've given our best at something. Feeling the power of us controlling our breathing again. There's no greater joy than that. For me, no greater joy than the awareness of our determination. So sometimes I try to do these exercises and I try to do as many reps as I can in a minute. That's one way to do it. You can change up your intensity, the amount of reps you do, the time you have, that's up to you. But whatever you choose, always try to get a little bit better than you were last time. And once again, legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, focused on our breathing. Back to our breathing. That powerful force keeping us alive, keeping our energy flowing. And we don't really think about it. We never really attempt to control our breathing, most of us anyway. But we were born to do that too. To remember that in any moment, we can take charge of it, the way we take charge of our breathing. Same way we take charge of our mind, our thoughts. So reflect back on today. How did you do? Are you satisfied with your work ethic? Are you satisfied with your determination? Do you use it in its fullness, its beauty? Our determination is invisible. We cannot put our finger on it. We cannot see it. But it is there. We have the power to determine what we will think and what we will do. Today, we've won the morning. We've won our minds. And therefore we can win our day and our life. One breath at a time. One thought at a time. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great life as always. I miss you. I love you guys so much. Keep going. Keep using your determination. Love you guys.
Journaling can often be seen as a habit that wastes time. You're sitting there writing when you could be doing something. But I find setting your intention and setting your desire for the day is a much more powerful and practical way to now walk into your day and feel like you know why you're there, to feel a sense of purpose. And so for me, setting an intention before a big meeting, before a difficult phone call, before an awkward conversation reminds me of who I want to be in that interaction. And that remembrance, that confidence and clarity around who I want to be allows me to navigate those seemingly difficult, awkward moments that naturally arise throughout the day. So this is a time that I take, and as you can see from my notes, none of these are beautiful, none of these are perfect, none of these are fully aligned. They are scattered, spontaneous, sometimes random thoughts, and I allow myself to doodle, squiggle, whatever it takes, because that allows me to feel that it's free flowing. Stop trying to make it perfect, stop trying to make it look amazing, just make it the way it allows you to feel like you have a window into your mind. And so when I look at these notes, I sometimes think, I'm just allowing myself to express what's on my mind right now.
Need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more. And you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Jay Shetty, and my take on his top 10 rules for success. Enjoy. Rule number 2, be curious.
When I was around 16, maybe 15, we used to celebrate Christmas every year, and Christmas is probably my favorite time of year. We were talking about it, like I love listening to Christmas songs, and I love Christmas decoration, and for me, Christmas is presents, and so I grew up in a culture where we celebrated Christmas, but Christmas was presents and a family dinner. And because I went to my school in England, we'd celebrate all the religious holidays. So we knew about all the main stories behind every major world religion. And so I remember celebrating Christmas at home, but thinking, I don't know that much about Jesus. And should I not be connecting with Jesus because that's why we even have this day? And so I started going to church in my local area just out of curiosity. I wasn't trying to be a Christian or trying to be a Hindu or trying to be anything. I was just interested and curious to be like, what is it about Christ that created a day that has lasted thousands of years that people all over the world celebrate? There must be something here. And so I feel like we get so scared because we want clear designations. We want like a clear title of I am this or I am that. And that gives us a sense of safety and security. But really answers come in the curiosity, not in the security.
Yeah.
Right?
What does that identity do to us in a good way or in a negative way?
In a good way, it creates and this isn't just about religious identity, it's any identity.
Just
I'm
any
a podcaster or whatever. Yeah, it's not about
holding on to this identity of yourself.
Yeah, so in the good sense, it surrounds you with more people like that. So if I'm a podcaster, I hang out with more podcasters, we learn more about podcasting, and that's a great thing because we all become better podcasters. The mistake is I go, I can only be a podcaster, but I can't write a book. I can't make a video. I can't do that now. And that's the mistake that it makes. So it should be evolving. These titles that we give ourselves, these communities should help us evolve, not devolve.
Yeah.
And not stop us from expanding and growing.
Okay.
And so you want to be around people that are always curious and insightful.
Rule number 3, build deeper connections.
I first learned about this through Dan O'Reilly and his Irrational Labs, where at an event, they encouraged us to ask more vulnerable, deep, and bigger questions. How many of you are tired of small talk? How many of you start every meeting in the same way? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it was good. Yeah, same old weekend. Yeah, it's been a lot. All right, let's get to work. We literally have the same conversation on repeat almost 7 times a day in every meeting. And guess what? Neither you nor the other person enjoys that conversation. Now, this point also applies whether you're working on Zoom or whether you're meeting in person again with people. We're so used to asking someone, how are you? And it's kind of a throwaway question. People usually come back and give us one of these 5 answers. Good, bad, okay, fine, or We don't learn anything about the other person. We don't get an opportunity to deepen our relationship. And it's almost like we didn't even care when we asked the question. But what if we ask someone, hey, what's a challenge that you've been working through lately? How could I help you through it? Or what's something that you're trying to overcome that you may need an insight on? This type of question gives the person an opportunity to really share what's happening. That vulnerability allows you to build a deeper bond and deeper connection. And now you're actually engaging with someone in a refreshing way. Now, if you're like me and you're still spending a ton of your time on Zoom, I'm recording podcasts and interviews with some of my favorite authors. We recently had Oprah on the podcast about her new book, What Happened to You? And when I'm speaking to people on Zoom, I found that it's even more difficult to build rapport or a connection, especially if you've never met them before, in person. One of the ways I've been able to cross this bridge is by being curious, but not creepy. Now, what I mean by that is about asking someone about something that's in their background. I think by now everyone knows their Zoom shot and their Zoom location. They have a few things in the background, maybe a piece of art and maybe a picture of their family. And this is such a beautiful conversation starter, especially if you're trying to build a new relationship. Recently, I was on a call with a client and I asked him about a really interesting thing that he had hung on his wall behind him. It was a paintbrush. I was so fascinated that I had to be curious, not creepy, and ask him why he had it there. He said, my first ever job when I was around 14 years old is I used to paint fences. And after painting fences, I got to paint rooms. And after painting rooms, I got to start painting homes. And now he's an executive and a director of a large company. And he said that he hangs this paintbrush on his wall to remind him of where he started. Give the person you're speaking to an opportunity to tell you a story. I promise you it will be memorable and meaningful, and if not, hopefully it makes one of you laugh.
Stop right now and let me ask you this. How is it possible that Elon Musk can manage...
Rule number 4, let go.
This story was about the journey of a person, and this person came across a tumultuous river. When they saw this river, they knew that if they set foot inside this river, they would get dragged away with the current. They realized that they would have to build somewhat of a vehicle or mode of transport to get to the other side. They started to get a log, and they thought maybe that was enough, and they pushed it out onto the water, and whoosh, the water just completely took away the log. They then realized they would have to build something a lot more stable. They got some bamboo, they created 2 rows, they tied it up with some rope, they even built an oar. They got on top and they started to paddle with all their strength and all their energy. And finally, they made it to the other side. This person thought to themselves, I can never live without this raft. This saved my life. This raft is the reason I'm alive. So they strapped it to their back and decided to take it wherever they went. They started to walk through the forest, but they realized it was difficult to maneuver because the raft just kept getting stuck in between the trees, and they'd try and pivot and maneuver and try and navigate through, but the raft was just getting chipped and broken, and they could either continue to try and struggle through with the raft on their back, or they could put the raft down and walk through freely. So often what's causing us anxiety is what we're holding on to. Our views of what is normal, what we expect, what we want to happen, the picture we're projecting. When you're holding on tightly to something that is slowly being pulled out of your hands, it causes you even more pain and anxiety. What is it that you need to let go of to reduce your anxiety?
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, spot and swap negative thoughts.
Thoughts are meant to be spotted, stop and reflect, and then swap. And what I mean by that is, if you've got a thought that's repeating, like you said, and is negative, I'm guessing you don't want that thought around for too long. Mm-hmm. So you want to spot, when does that thought arrive? Does it arise when I'm with certain people? Does it arise when I'm on a particular social media platform? Does it arise when I go to a particular place? Where is that? What is the seed of that thought, right? So once I identify that, I now need to stop, spend some time in stillness and go, is this thought benefiting me? Is this thought useful to me? Is this thought actually leading me to who I want to become? And if it's not, I need to swap it with a thought. So one of my favorite ways of, let's take an example of like, I feel less than. I feel like I'm not achieving anything.
I'm no good.
I'm no good. I'm not good enough. So you spot that and you go, oh, I always feel that when I'm going through this particular Instagram profile because I'm looking at someone who I think is better than me. Okay, what do I swap that with? You don't swap that with you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're incredible, because you may not believe that yet. Yeah. But you stop it. You swap it with, I feel confident when. I feel attractive when. I feel happy and joyful when. And you figure out what is that thing that I need to be and do to feel that emotion. The best place to talk about that, though, with thoughts is the movie Inception. So you look at how a thought is planted into someone's mind, and how in that movie Leonardo DiCaprio in his wife's mind plants a thought that this is not real. And that thought grows into a belief.
A belief that is so strong, it's crazy.
Right? And it's like, that is literally what a thought can do. And you see that in the Joker movie. So I did a whole episode last year which was all about like mental health and the Joker. And you look at the Joker stories, he's trying to bring joy to others, but everyone treats him badly. And so the thought sets in of I'm not worthy, I'm not valuable, my father doesn't want me, no one thinks I'm funny, everyone makes fun of me, even when I go on TV, everyone's laughing at me. That idea becomes his reality. Now I get that that's a fiction movie, but the point is still that we see, even in today's world, that thoughts have the ability to become, I forget the word that Leonardo DiCaprio uses in the movie, but that thought...
cancer or some type of...
Yeah, it's like a cancer in the mind, right? It like really just expands. And so I think we have to be so good at spotting, stopping, and swapping thoughts.
Rule number 6, turn off your notifications.
Turn off your notifications and turn on chill, relaxing work music. I've done this for such a long time where I have a playlist that I listen to that allows me to just get into the zone. What I find music does, especially instrumental music, that's what I focus on. I try to stay away from popular music that I may listen to in the car or while I'm in the gym. What that does is it gives the mind enough distraction, enough rhythm, enough pattern, enough momentum so that you can actually focus your mind on the activity at hand. Now, some of you may prefer silence or working to chatter, and that's fine too. You can even put that type of music on. But for me, instrumental beats and rhythms are a fantastic way of getting into the zone. Turning off your notifications is just a no-brainer if you're really trying to do some deep work.
Rule number 7, value family time.
When you're with loved ones, when you're with family, when you're with your friends, make a vow to not use technology. If you need to have, I've seen these around where you have a technology jar and everyone puts their phone in it at the start of a dinner and takes it at the end. Make a vow that when you're with your friends, when you're with your family, that you will not be on your phone, and leave your phones in the same place, in one area, so that none of you can just get that sneaky moment out to take a look at it. When you first start, you may be worried that you're gonna be bored of each other. You might even be worried, well, how's this person going to compete with my phone? How are they going to entertain me? I mean, my phone has access to every form of entertainment. Sit in that discomfort again. And in that discomfort, you're going to learn something new about that person. You're going to become more curious. Your mind actually has the opportunity to start building a different bond. Earlier, I mentioned that you want to create no technology times in your home. You also want to create no technology zones in your home. In mine and Radhi's home, those spaces are the dining table and the bedroom. Those are two areas that we want to be technology free, that we've designated as important areas of connection. And so the dining table and the bedroom becomes places and zones in my home where we don't use technology.
Rule number 8, define the terms.
Harvard did a table, which I really believe is what mindful speaking is all about. So
what is this?
So it's called Harvard List of Emotions, but I kind of changed the name to Emotional Vocabulary because I think it sounds better.
Okay.
So an emotional vocabulary, if you look at all of the world's emotional vocabulary, it's very limited. We use 5 words to describe pretty much everything. Good, bad, okay, fine, So it's like, how's your week going? Good. How's your day been? Bad. How are you feeling? Okay. Literally, like, we use such limited words. And that may be okay for the majority of people. But in your personal relationships, it's so important to expand your emotional vocabulary. So this table that Harvard has made, which anyone can find just by typing in Harvard List of Emotions on Google, what that does is that it shows you that when you say you're sad, what do you actually mean? So it gives you all this list of emotions that sit under the word sad. Are you irritated? Are you offended? Are you disappointed? Have you been let down? The more you expand your emotional vocabulary, the more you can diagnose how you feel.
Interesting.
And the more you can tell your partner or your friend,
this is how I'm feeling.
This is how I'm actually feeling. And this is one of the biggest mistakes with words, is that we think our words mean the same thing. Now, when you say love, you might think forever. And when I say love, I might think for tonight, right? And that is literally how the word love or care or marriage or forever gets misused, abused, and thrown about, because we both mean different things. And our meanings are based on our backgrounds and our beliefs, but how we were born and how our parents
our culture, our experience.
Everything. Yeah, it forms our meaning. So I really believe that in a relationship, in our communication with words, define words. When you say, yeah, we're best friends or friends, what does that mean to you? When we're business partners, what does that mean to you? A contract in a financial legal sense is to define the terms.
Right.
But in our emotional sense, we also need to define the terms. And we don't do that emotionally enough. And that's why we feel emotionally like someone broke the contract. And you have nothing to hold them to because you never made a contract.
You never communicated.
You never communicated
the
it.
meaning of these words.
Exactly. And that's why words are so powerful, but they're only powerful when we agree on the definition.
Rule number 9, stop procrastinating.
This entrepreneur brand logo was done by a top freelancer on Fiverr. Is simple.
If you're someone who finds that you're always procrastinating, you're always overanalyzing, overthinking, and you're struggling to get stuff done, this video is for you. The first step is identifying why we procrastinate. How many of you have ever wondered, why do I overthink? I want to get this done. I want to make progress in my life, but for some reason, I just can't seem to stop. Alexander Rosenthal, who's a procrastination researcher, explains the 4 types of trigger. We procrastinate because of expectancy, value, time, or impulsivity. People procrastinate because of a lack of value associated with the task, or because they expect that they're not going to achieve the value they're trying to achieve, or because the value is too far from you in terms of time, and finally, because you're very impulsive as a person. What's interesting about understanding where your procrastination comes from is that it allows you to understand what the challenge is and what the issue is without blaming yourself, without thinking that something is wrong with you. And actually, the clearer you get about the value you're going to get from the task, the amount of time you do have to dedicate to it, don't judge yourself. So many of us, when we procrastinate and overthink, start to feel that there's something wrong with us. We judge ourselves, we make ourselves feel guilty, we say negative things about ourselves and to others. We start saying things like, I'm so lazy, I'm so worthless, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. This doesn't make you more productive, more proactive, or more effective. How many times has putting yourself down made you lift yourself up? I don't think those two things go together. What ends up happening is that when we judge ourselves for being procrastinators, we create a prison of guilt. This becomes a space that we actually can't break out of, and it's how procrastination keeps us trapped by making us believe that we can't do anything, that we're no better. So we need to stop judging ourselves. How do we stop judging ourselves? By letting go. Realizing that we all make mistakes and that we're going to leave that all behind and we're going to turn over a fresh page, that we're going to start anew.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is have fun.
I want to watch what happens.
So now what do I do?
Yeah.
Watch your steps. Now it all gets real.
How much is fastened? How much? Where am I fastened?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Where am I attached to? I feel like that's the only thing that's attaching us to the zip line. Just that one hook.
Don't think about it.
My hand.
Oh my god!
It all gets real now.
You're literally only hooked to one thing.
I don't know, where am I meant to, how far should I be? Am I doing this right?
Okay, no, there's 2 hooks, that's good.
What do you think? I think you should have gone first because you're looking at it.
Okay,
now.
I know. I feel like I need the toilet. Yep. Okay.
Oh god!
Cool. Yes.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to
When are
keep
you
my
gonna let
eyes
me off?
open.
At the same time.
I'm not
Okay.
sure I want to do this actually.
Are you sure? Do you want to do it?
I don't know.
Bob, if you don't want to do it, I don't want you to do it.
Is it? No, it's fine.
No, if you don't feel comfortable,
No,
Bob.
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Oh, I don't know. I'm fine. Roddy, you're all the way up.
Do your singing.
Yeah. Now they can stop. Oh, are you just gonna push me? How is this working?
Just meditate, Rad.
Are you sure I'm fastened properly?
Raddy, keep your legs straight and hold your harness, yeah?
Okay.
Once you're past this building, you can open your arms.
I don't want to. I'm not opening my
This
eyes.
view is beautiful, spectacular.
I'm okay. Oh no, am I going?
When do we go?
Okay, Raddy, you're done.
Give us a countdown. Give me a countdown.
Can we count them down, guys? Can we count them down?
I'm not. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. Oh no.
Yeah.
Who's catching me the other end? Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, but I'm not opening my eyes. Just everywhere. Go fast.
That was amazing. You made it, really.
I did, but I had my eyes closed 99% of the time.
You're
Not
cute.
gonna lie.
You did it, though.
I did it.
You did it.
The initial bit was scary, but this was
It's
fine.
always the initial bit. I started turning sideways.
I know, right?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Roddy, you did it.
Stop right now and let me ask you this. How is it possible that Elon Musk can manage?
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and just get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of actually following through on your goals. That's not good enough. No, not for you, Believe Nation. We got to do something. But when you write it down and you create a specific plan of action for the next week, that number jumps to 91% chance of you following through. And when you commit to somebody else, like leaving a comment on this video, it jumps to 95%. You need to follow through on your goals. So what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your specific plan of action for the next week? Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.